4080. Industry rule number 4080. Record company people are shady. Industry rule number 4080. Record company people are shady.
All right, everybody. This is industry rule number 4080, where quality content counts.
Absolutely. My name is Quan, also known as the Millennial that knows what he's talking about. I'm accompanied by this great man here, Tally, who's here to help me out if I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You made me laugh, and then you humbled me in 2 seconds. Oh boy, man, how you been, man? We a little bit out of our time frame of when we normally do these things because this young man, yo, remember this term? He caught the monster.
Oh man, the 2021 version of the curable monster, or the monster that leaves. He doesn't stay in your crib, you know. But yeah, man, I lost the whole unvax argument. You know, I lost all leverage on not being vaccinated.
Unvax, well, okay.
You know, a lot has happened since I caught it and tested negative. Since I tested negative, it's all mandated and stuff. So things are different. Today it's been approved by the FDA. Well, the Pfizer one, not the Moderna yet, but we see where things are gonna go. But COVID is interesting, man. COVID is like a sick joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's like satire. Like, you shouldn't laugh at it, but it's crazy as long as you survive.
I'm absolutely just listening to everything you have to say right now.
It's bad. So, I wasn't feeling well. One day, woke up, I thought something else was wrong. I'm like, all right, I'm not feeling well. You know, I go to sleep that night, chest was hurting, it was tight. But I don't have any pre-existing conditions. I see how things can escalate quickly if you do. If you don't have regular movement and you don't have a good diet and you're not active, I can see how it can affect you gravely. But it didn't get there with me, but you definitely feel it. I was dizzy for a couple of days, no appetite, feeling real weak. I lost my taste like 4 days after when I started to feel a little bit better physically. I lost my taste and my smell. That's why I said it's like a sick joke. It comes out of nowhere. It humbles you. It brings you back and takes something when you start to feel better. It's crazy. It's nothing else like it that I know about that does that to you. So it has a mental effect on you as well because you start to think you're doing good and, all right, maybe this home remedy is working, but it's working for that, it's not working for this. Oh, but I shouldn't take if I take cough medicine, it's going to make my symptoms worse. Then if I do this, I do that. And then you start reading stuff and you don't know what to do. So it's a villain. It's a villain. I want everybody to protect themselves. If you're not vaccinated like myself, at least take the proper steps to protect that immune system
on a consistent basis.
Eat the right things, stay active, and stay away from. Well, try to the best cure. The best remedy is prevention. You don't want to catch it. You just try your best not to catch it. If you're not going to be vaccinated, stay away from big crowds. If you're in a big crowd, wear your mask, wear a bandana over your face, whatever you got to do. I'm not going to get political in here. It's not my job.
You, Jesus.
I'm not going to be political. I'm not here for that. So what the other podcasts are for.
So you're okay now?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
You can smell and taste now?
Smell and taste. It took a while to come back. I was negative and I still couldn't smell and taste. Some people would last up to like 6 months, 7 months. Some people didn't get it back yet that had COVID last year. So I'm fortunate. I started to get scared, like, yo, it's gonna come back. I want to taste my mac and cheese.
Taste my mac and cheese.
But yeah, just like I said, take care of yourself like you never have. It's different out there. It's a war going on outside. No man is safe.
I understand you're supposed to just not act like you have it, but carry yourself as if you do have it.
Yeah.
So that way you're doing all the preventative things which are good for your
Yeah.
body to help keep your immune system
Listen,
strong.
all the
stuff
things your
like that.
grandmother told you to do when you were younger, do that.
Yeah, do that.
Do that. Do
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're okay now, back at it.
I'm good now. Had a lot of time to reflect.
What were you reflecting on? This is gonna be good.
Man.
You reflecting on the beat down that Dipset got?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
nah.
I'm sorry. Let me say. I'm sorry.
no, I
I'm sorry.
enjoyed that.
I'm sorry.
I enjoyed that.
Let
We're
me
gonna
say-
get to that.
Let me say something 1st. Man, I don't subscribe to these versus scenarios
Right.
as battles. I subscribe to them as cultural enlightenment, and I think the culture benefits more than anybody else, because if you're not a fan or you haven't been a fan of some of these artists and you see them against artists that you do like, you may discover something else you may like about them.
Right.
Okay, so for example, let's say Dipset and the Locks. You might not even know, or some people may not know that Jim Jones is the guy that made Ballin', or maybe a record you just liked and heard a lot, but didn't know who it was.
Oh,
And then when you hear it on verse, oh, that's the guy. Then you go and download it. That's the
Especially if
victories.
you're real
That's-
young.
That's the victories I get within it. Because there's a lot, because there's a lot. Think about how many times, this is a dumb statement, but you get it. Like how many times you going to the dentist or going to the doctor's office, heard a song that was kind of cool on the radio. You know who it was, just like the song.
Right.
Then you discover who the artist is. Oh, let me download that song. Like a song, I'll give you a perfect song that people have heard a lot of, and it's a very good song. And if you don't know who it is, you might not like it. But if you heard "Sailing" by Christopher Cross, you may be like, "This is a great record. Who is this guy?"
So you hear at the truck stop while getting a Cinnabon.
Exactly. then you see him on TV. Oh, that's that guy. So I'm
Yeah.
saying that's what I like about verses, because it's not necessarily about like the best of their catalogs. It's about culture as a whole, and hopefully the culture wins. And then the
Awareness.
culture wins.
Awareness.
I like the culture to win. I'm not subscribing to the battle of who beat who and who stomped who out and who said what. I subscribe to the fact that the culture wins.
Like I said before, I don't know if I said it here, but what I get from verses is I'm happy that Swiss and Tim were able to create that. Like the fact that we seen people of the culture
Yeah.
create it and then take it to the next level. I don't care who owns it. If Triller owns their percentage or whatever it is,
You
they
think they
sold
cut?
it to
You
them.
think they cut corners?
Who?
Timberland and Swiss
And like,
putting verses together.
no, they did the best they could with what they had. Well, all right. So to bring some context, we had a whole conversation about our culture and cutting corners. And we're not going to go into that rabbit hole right now.
We can.
But it was a very good conversation. It made sense. Some disagreements. But for the most part, I understood his point in cutting corners. I do think that they did.
We just said we're not going to get into it too deeply, but yet we're here.
Oh no, I'm just answering your question. Did they cut corners? I don't. The only corner they probably cut was actually, yes, they cut corners. They could have created their own platform.
They did create their own platform.
No, I mean it's on Triller. They
No.
could have created a Triller,
Oh, you could.
which is crazy.
Well done.
But they could have.
Well done.
See, that's
Well
fine.
done.
I want to let you know that I understood what you were saying.
Well done. You
Right.
are listening.
There we go.
Well said.
Other than that, I was watching some TV. I'm not gonna lie to you. As much self-reflecting and all that stuff that I did do, and inhaling cayenne pepper and stuff off the stove. I mean, I did do a little bit of entertainment. Godfather Harlem's back on TV. He hasn't caught up yet, so I'm not gonna really jump into that and have a
Forrest Whitaker fan.
monologue
Shout out
about
Marcon
it.
Swift. I know Marcon Swift. Who's the
Oh
executive
yeah,
producer.
yeah.
I know
And this is
Marcon.
another thing Swiss is involved with. So Swiss is doing good out here. Swiss is doing pretty good.
Mad Alicia Keys.
Oh yeah. That's another thing.
Shout out to Kasim Dean.
Let's get into something that I haven't heard too much deep conversation about. Let's talk about The Chi. A show that we've been watching, well, both of us.
Yes.
Well, we watched.
We watched because the season's over now.
Yeah.
So this is
Did you watch it all one time, or did you watch it from?
Oh no, I'm a shy guy.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm watching it every week. If I'm on my A game, I'm watching it at midnight when the new episode uploads the very next day.
Oh yeah, that's me.
I'm a son. I could be watching the show on demand on Sunday morning.
Yeah. I'm gonna start on the macro level for
macro
the show,
level.
and then
Okay.
we'll take it in micro.
Okay.
My opinion. Well, what I get from it, from my observation, I'm not gonna say opinion. From my eyes, I feel it is a great show, Lena Waithe does a great job in both casting and creating the picture that I feel she has of Chicago and the problems that lie in Chicago.
Yeah, definitely look like Shameless.
Huh? Oh, oh man.
Which is
yeah.
both supposed to be the South Side, right? Poor
Right.
area of Chicago.
Right.
So I got you.
Right. So I feel she does a decent job, especially now with what we know to be going on in Chicago, where drill music was birthed. This is the Young Dirk, the Chief Keef, and all that, with a sub-genre of drill music and what was actually going on with the gangs and them cutting down the projects in the late 90s. Not cutting down, I'm sorry. Closing and demolishing the bigger public housing buildings, and people spreading out into the city, different families and different beefs and different gangs and stuff. And we get this, what we have now. Not the Kanye West Chicago, but the Lil Durk Chicago, right? Which spread into, I live in Brooklyn, I'm from Brooklyn, which has spread to Brooklyn and every other major city where, young people making music. The drill music is the thing. So that culture comes from Chicago, and this kind of digs deeper into why, how, and where these things are happening. So I found it interesting. I walked back. All right, this is the music, and this is an outlook for everybody that doesn't live out there of what is actually going on. And everybody can relate to it, too. People, you can relate to it if you live in Little Haiti. You can relate to it if you live in Brownsville. You can relate to it if you live in Yonkers. Because the same thing happens, just in different ways. So we get to hear the accents. A lot of these people are from Chicago, from what I understand, on the in the cast. So that's a good piece that she did too, because their acting stems from a place of experience and observation. Well, more experience than observation, because this is where they're from. So they're gonna take it more serious and take it more personal. So I think she did a good job in that. What do you think?
I've watched every episode of Shot from the beginning, so
Right.
the cultural reference that you're speaking to, or the cultural foundation of dynamics and explanation of characters and storylines, and like you said, tying it into the current culture of what's happening there, so it doesn't seem far removed. It's not a timepiece from the '60s,
Right.
So that I totally relate to.
Right.
I like the characterization of it.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of the show in general. So for example, when it comes back next year, if it does, I'll be right there watching it. I did have a major problem with the show this year, because the timeline of the show usually is they have a season, and then some time passes, and then they catch up to where they left off after that time has passed.
Right.
The first few years, that seemed to be a nice, congruent transition when it happened. But when they had to get rid of one of the characters for outside reasons, as well as this year, that transition time was just a little bit too much to leap and catch up to.
Yeah, this is season 4, right?
I want to say 4, yes.
It was 4. And
Yes.
Brandon died at the end of season
2?
2. Well, the beginning of season 3.
Yes.
In between 2 and 3, that's when
Yes.
they cut him out. And I think that they're still feeling the effects
Of what his character
having to
role
change
was.
everything.
Yeah, because he was a
Major
central.
piece.
So basically, if you think about it, right, you could say it now because we're like in year 4. It was Brandon's world and Emmett's world, and all the things that emanated from those two characters.
You want to add Kevin there?
Kev emanates from both of them.
He's like the
Yeah, but
piece
that's
that
not. But not
connects-
okay. But then again, if
Right.
you want to, if you go that route, you could name major characters in every step. You say
Right,
you
okay,
could
yeah.
talk about
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
talk about like the gang aspect of it is
Right,
Seminole.
right.
So, but I'm saying that, but everything connects to those two characters.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when they lost Brandon, you see what I mean? Okay. I think the writing aspect of it had to take a sharp turn because they was able to emanate for those two worlds, even though and those two worlds worked together as well, right? Because Emmett and Brandon were together at one point with the food truck situation. So I think that's what caused it to kind of suffer. So I just hope that they kind of, I won't say get back on track, but they don't lose the essence of what it represents. Because it went a little bit off track this year. I think there was another storyline. I'll just say the name, Jada. that actually brought everybody together.
Jada is the
Emmett's mom.
Oh yes.
That,
I'm sorry.
that basically brought everything together.
Yeah.
In a sense, because of what her storyline represented.
Right.
Okay. Whereas as much as the other,
yeah.
so as much as the other storylines were a little
Yeah.
bit left and crazy,
Mm-hmm.
that one kind of was very like that's core shy.
Right, because I feel my opinion is Emmett doesn't have enough depth. His story does it
Well,
has
it
depth.
did.
Right.
They simplified him.
Right, so you can't really run with him.
Right.
You know, so they had to. All right, who we gonna get to? All right, his mom, and that's something that everybody gonna get to. Our people,
Well, with the situation that happened with the mom, absolutely.
right? Our
Yep.
people can relate to that. We don't want to spoil the show, obviously, but you know, what she had to deal with. That's something that everyone has a family member, a mom, a auntie, a friend, a neighbor, a cousin, somebody that can, you know, that has seen that, and you know, I do think that this season, I know you said you gave, in your opinion, you gave this season a 6 and the last season a 7.
Something like that, yes.
Something similar to that. Well, it was a step back.
Definitely this year.
Right.
This year definitely for me was a step back.
I think that this season coming into the end, that's why I do it opposite. Because I give this season a step up because it gave at least I think it's important for a show like The Chi and what it's representing to end on a somewhat positive note. And end on a 10, you know, in terms of like really dark to all right, somewhat positive. It wasn't a 10 on positivity, but a good 7 can settle because it's realistic. A 10 is crazy.
I can see that.
You know, so I feel you have the responsibility of yes, showing the darkness and the you know the real. You have to be realistic, but still give a little silver lining where all right, the community watching, especially from there, can feel optimistic.
So I'll go sideways on that one. I call that TV politics.
Yeah.
Because the show has to end on a high note in case the show ain't coming back. Because you don't know if it's going to be renewed or not. You don't know if it's going to be renewed or not. So they always got to kind of tie a little bit in the bow at the end of the season. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's still things left, but you know, even then, they kind of tie it in the bow, so it kind of feels if it doesn't come back, it kind of ends on a certain note. So, please.
I hated that part.
But before we as we spoke about the culture though, in reference to the culture, because we're kind of giving people like an impression that it's a show not to watch.
Right.
It's absolutely a show. It's absolutely a show to watch.
We love this show.
But I think but our point is that we're invested. So almost like if you're a Game of Thrones fan, that last 2 years of Game of Thrones, you had a little problem with it. Because you were invested in what it truly represented. So when it disappointed at the end, you weren't okay with it.
Right.
But you were just as invested as everything else. The Chi's a show like that. And it hasn't been, it should be fine.
It's like when your favorite artist finally gets signed.
You know what? Let me speak to one more big point about The Chi, which is good. Mm-hmm. The Chi shows people of color in their truest form. So for example, you're not looking at, you ready to laugh? You're not looking at an old BET show. Right. Okay, where all the characters are of certain shade of skin, and they don't go past the paper bag.
Right. This is everything.
This is the full spectrum. Sizes,
occupations,
hairstyles.
Yeah.
Okay? Socioeconomics, complexions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a very good myriad of what the black culture represents.
Commend Lena Waithe on that part.
Because I realized one day I was watching the show. I remember watching one episode, and I consciously said out loud, "I don't think there's a light skinned person in this episode."
Except for Papa.
Mm-hmm. No, but might not be. But no, but even ready for this?
Yeah.
Even the thing that gets Papa's attention.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like what's he attracted to? What is he enamored with? What he can't let go of?
Right.
Absolute opposite stereotype.
That's fire.
Of what would be seen on TV in the scheme of what that would be, and himself. It's an absolute,
the confidence that he has.
It's an absolute opposite stereotype.
Yeah.
Okay, and that person's being glorified.
Yeah.
Right. That person's being put on the pedestal. Mm-hmm. Right, in a lot of different ways. I'm giving out anything about the show.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
And you would think that that person would be the absolute opposite of what that person represents to get that attention.
And that's where it started.
And so watch this statement, and then you can continue on to something else. Right. So look how they paint that person as beautiful. Mm-hmm. right?
It's important.
Right, but follow me. And how they paint somebody's wife as ugly. Saw the last episode?
Yeah.
Right? Last episode, somebody made a promise, right?
Character-wise, you
So,
mean?
no.
Okay.
Last episode, somebody made a promise,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And that person broke that promise within 2 minutes, right?
Okay.
Well, how does that person look?
Yeah.
Physically.
Right.
That's the opposite. So that person's actually acting ugly within that role, right? Whereas the other person, reference the Papa, is the diametric opposite of that person, and continues and continues to exude beauty.
Yeah, character is.
So that's and I'm pretty sure that if Lena was watching this, she would say, "Y'all caught that, didn't you?
Y'all got it." Lena, holla at us. Holla at us.
Y'all caught that, didn't you?
We caught it. We see what you did there.
Yes. So I'm gonna segue into two things, and then I'll let you grab your next point, man. So I'm officially saying that HBO used to be the king of the non-regular television shows, right? Wire, Game of Thrones, Sopranos,
Sex and the City.
You got Sex and the City. You got put in that category, okay? Showtime has now leaped into that category.
Was Your Honor Showtime?
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor was Showtime, right?
Who?
Your Honor.
Your Honor Showtime.
Okay, so
Yep.
they had that. They had this. They have this. They have. Do you watch Flatbush Misdemeanors?
I give you the bigger one. Do you watch Billions?
No, I didn't start it yet. I'm going to. I didn't start it yet.
Oh, Billions.
Don't tell me anything about it.
Billions.
I don't want to know what it's about. I don't want to know where.
Billions.
Yeah, I want to watch this. I want to watch that.
Okay.
I might start it.
And also, and you know it's becoming the new BET, right? The real BET. It's Stars. The real BET is Stars.
Wait. One quick. Is the BMF thing on Stars?
BMF is on Stars.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, so 50's Bob Johnson?
50's not Bob Johnson.
No,
If 50 was Bob Johnson,
I know.
there would be a network called 50 Television.
I know.
Or Curtis Vision. Okay. But so he's not Bob Johnson. Okay. Well, let's see.
I would love to see it.
Ready? Let's see if he doesn't cut corners. Let's see if he pays attention to learn what he needs to learn so he can do it.
I don't want to get off topic.
So wait, hold on.
Yeah,
I just want to pause for a second. Wait, moment of silence. How y'all both caught the phrase when I said, let's see if he doesn't cut corners.
Yeah, of course.
And how that goes full circle to our conversation from earlier today. Because for him to be that person, right, he has to
own the platform.
not on the platform.
Learn it.
This is Curtis Jackson.
Right.
Okay. I'm not saying this. I don't know. Did Curtis Jackson graduate high school? I don't know. I'm not saying he did. He didn't. I don't know. Okay. I know he did not graduate college.
Right.
That I know he did not do. Right. So I'm saying is that there isn't, as we have all learned, and I'm saying this respectfully.
Hustler.
Okay. No. Is that Hustlers University.
Right.
Okay. Can be as strong, if not stronger, than an actual academic university.
Right.
And that's why we have billionaires named Sean Carter. And that's why we have a guy that was smart enough to recognize that, what is Ghost's name? That James St. Patrick, okay, can turn into Star Wars for black people.
NCIS and
Okay.
all type of stuff. Yeah.
It's not NCIS because it's the same show in different cities. It's Star Wars because it's a universe that surrounds this one person.
Oh, and you know what's crazy?
Ghost is Luke Skywalker.
Kanan is episode 1. It goes back
That's
to
what I'm going.
the beginning, and then it goes in.
So now, I'm not sure if Curtis Jackson is watching this, but if that was a conversation your team had, we caught that one too.
Can we please?
Because that's basically a George Lucas move.
Well, if you remember, I remember this from a while back. I thought it was fucking ingenious.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying that when he was spinning up G Unit, which, do you remember Nicky Martin?
Yes.
He stole Nicky Martin from Columbia
Yeah.
and headed G Unit, the
Yeah.
label that dropped him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They had success, but
It's an executive.
Oh, okay.
when shout out to Nicky because Nicky's cool people. What he said in an interview once is that what he would do is that he would put his boys on to work as an assistant to executives, and the executive that they were working on didn't even realize that they were training their replacement.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a type of mind frame that might be what we're talking
50 is
about.
very diabolical.
Well,
he's very.
I don't like that. Okay, so
He's
so here-
calculated. He's calculated.
I'm not going to use that word either. Okay, just so here at industry rule number 4080. Okay, we graduate, we perpetuate, we speak truth.
Right.
Okay, but here's the phrase I want to use: we don't speak darkness into our culture. We only speak light into our culture. Okay, so I would never say, because follow me. Okay, because that's what, and I'm being cynical when I say this. That's what CBS would allow James Corden to say about Curtis Jackson. You're pretty diabolical within your brilliance.
That's true.
No, we're just going to say he's smart.
Right.
We're just going to say he knows what he's doing.
Makes sense.
We're going to say that he studies it. We're not going to put dark words into that category, especially when he's feeding so much. I won't even say, now, I'm being honest when I say this, because he's not feeding the culture. Okay? What I mean when I say that is he's not teaching us how to run a plantation and be an agriculturist and run a farm. Okay? He's basically telling stories of
He's conveying.
pain. No, he's telling stories of pain and despair to city neighborhoods. BMF is not going to be about the invention of the air balloon.
No.
Okay? Right? Power is not about finding out what the force means. Okay? Those are not his stories. That's not necessarily a problem. I'm just saying that, keep it in perspective. What he is doing, okay, which plays into the light spreading of what we're saying, is the fact that he's getting people employed and he's doing jobs. And if he's going to tell the story, damn it, he's going to Martin Scorsese tell the story of Goodfellas his way, and not let somebody else tell it their way to misappropriate or misrepresent the culture.
Right.
So that's what he does very well. Okay?
And what's the lady's name again? The writer?
Courtney Kemp.
Courtney
Yeah,
Kemp, yes.
She's real. She's
Okay, and the depth
definitely-
and the depth of the characters is significant, and the shows, right? We're on show 3 now, right? How many seasons of Power were they?
5. One of Tariq.
Original Power?
The original Power.
5.
Okay, so we got 5 seasons of Power.
One of.
Okay, one
Tariq.
of Tariq and one of
Second
Kanan.
season is filming.
And the
Yes,
second season
it's
filming,
on the way.
and Kanan's here now, and they're filming,
BMF.
and they're filming Tommy too.
Yes.
Oh,
They're
they filming
filming
Tommy
Tommy.
already?
Tommy's happening as well too. So the one that's left that may or may not happen is the political
Tasha
one.
and-
No, it's the political one with Lorenz Tate.
They doing that?
That was there was 4 more episodes. There was 3
I
more.
thought it was Tasha and I thought they were going back in time to Tasha and Ghost like coming up.
I remember that being.
Oh, that's
4
good.
more spin-offs.
4 more spin-offs. So let's count them.
That's better though.
That's-
Lorenz Tate is better than me.
No, there was political power because remember, Ghost was supposed to
I
be the
remember
lieutenant
him.
governor.
Right.
And let me say political power. Then there's Tommy. Then there's Kanan, and then there's Tariq.
Right.
That's the 4.
So this is at least a few more years of.
That's what.
power.
So we and they're on show 3. So speaking to the point of what Lou was mentioning, as far as having the mindset, okay, and basically, literally, James St. Patrick is Luke Skywalker, okay, and everybody else is surrounded his situation. He's just not here to tell it,
Right.
okay. So we'll see how that plays out. But
Or-
the original point was that Stars is the real black
Right.
entertainment television.
Or what?
James St. Patrick is Darth Vader.
You're
Reek is Luke.
Yeah, either.
Or-
So what we just did. So what?
That Tariq season was fire.
So what we just did is exactly what
Yeah.
this is supposed to do, right? That's it. So even this that interaction
Yo, did I-
is the validation of what the situation is, because you could sit back and say literally that the Star Wars tsunami it surrounds either Darth Vader or does it surround Luke. Right, light and darkness. By the way, right. So that's how that
We
plays
doing
out. So
predictions
anyway.
here today or no?
No, I don't do predictions.
All right, cool. Because I got a crazy prediction for Tariq. We'll talk about that later.
You can't. Look. Let me, the beauty.
No, I'm telling Lou that
The beauty of these shows. Okay. The only reason why we're still on this topic is because you can't predict it. You cannot. You can. Somewhat cannot. There's things that have to happen inevitably because there's hoods. Like for example, when Tasha had to kill her best friend. Okay, because just her worried maniac paranoid ass had to go. Okay,
Right.
But we all sat here. I don't think anybody said Tariq shot his father.
Right.
Okay. Nobody said Tariq shot his father. Okay. And at the end of the first season of Ghost Part 2, nobody saw what Tariq was going to do.
Oh,
Nobody saw that.
But
So that's why we're here.
I'll say this. I'm not going to give my prediction, but we'll see. But I think in terms of Kanan, I love it.
Here's the highlight I'm waiting for with Kanan. What's the one thing everybody's waiting for?
What to see if
Tommy goes to walking.
When
Yeah.
he gets introduced to Tommy, Ghost, and Tasha.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying
That's the
I don't-
highlight of the show. That's
I
gonna
don't-
be the highest rated show on TV.
I don't think that's coming in this season.
It can't come in this season because
Yeah.
Kanan's 16.
This season, dude. Yeah, but in terms of the show,
It's like
itself,
season 2.5 or
I
3.
I like how
or,
accurate,
or it may come soon if the ratings go down.
I like how accurate it is.
Convince me of accuracy.
Made in the year, so this is like
I'm
90,
gonna give you an accuracy that's off the chain accurate. But you go first.
like down to the sneakers, down to the sneaker, like the Jordan 3s. The you haven't seen anything past the Jordan 6, I think. I don't think anything past 6, which would mean that's 91 because the first one's 85. So this means it's 91. I'm looking at the cars. I'm looking at just things that I look.
we're with you. We're just you're carrying the water right now.
Oh,
We're just watching you carry the water.
yeah, you know.
I was gonna say authentic back to the origins of the loop in the theme song and what that means to the borough of Queens. I'll stop there and say those who know.
No. Right.
There's like a reason why that particular loop is being looped and why 50 is saying what he is saying because he is literally speaking to the early 80s. He's basically doing, can I say this without sounding crazy? I think I can say it without sounding crazy. He's literally doing for the show what sucker MCs did for Queens.
Yeah.
That theme song. Okay? Teeny bit more depth. Okay? Literally in Sucker MCs, Run is narrating how he became a rapper.
Oh yeah.
That's not about somebody else. It's about himself. And literally he's breaking down how he became. So literally what that song that 50 is singing speaks to the origins of hip hop in Queens.
Yeah.
And that loop is a staple in Queens. That song is the can I say this? I gotta be careful now. What would you say? Is here we go. More so than people think The Bridge by MC Shan is the song for
So
Queens.
real quick.
It's not.
No, I'm just
This
asking.
I'm saying this loop
I got you.
is literally what the anthem is for Queens. It's not The Bridge.
All right. Wait. So
Like before MCs was MCing,
well, I got.
the DJs were.
So you talking about the what is it? Kenny Burke? No,
Kenny
Kenny
Burke.
Burke. All right. So
Say it for the people now.
Kenny Burke.
There you go.
Rising
See,
to the
that's
top.
why I'm the millennial that knows what he's talking about sometimes.
I like the
Sometimes.
fact you said sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of the times.
Because we still haven't forgiven you for the EP.
For the EPMD, yeah.
No, you
it's
can't. You
forgivable.
can't. So, no, it's not.
It's forgivable.
Okay, things that are in the rap timeline that wouldn't happen if it wasn't exist, you can't unforgivable. But keep going. Go back to Kenny Burke though, because you make there may be some redemption.
we know
There may
this.
be some redemption in your Kenny Burke
Listen.
statements. Let's see if it's there. Maybe some redemption there.
Where's he from? Where's he from? Just asking. I don't know where he's from. So that's where he's from Queens? No, I didn't know that. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking why it's so important. I could Google it, but I ain't wanna. You know what I mean?
It's all right. You talking. You had a point to make. Keep making
Right.
it.
No, I'm not. Because the reason I was asking because I know those years that this is playing on. I know that that's when the whole Dougie Fresh Get Fresh crew did it. So I was making sure that it was that it wasn't important because of that. That's what I was asking.
Kenny Burke, if I got this right, is from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. But the loop was going around crazy in
Like,
Queens.
here's a-
In Queens,
here's a-
you're saying
Here's a piece of
history.
style. Do you remember when I was asking Eric, our Mount Vernon alum, if he knew AB?
Yes.
AB manages Kenny Burke. Kenny Burke is still running around.
Yeah.
doing shows
Well,
and
he
shit.
can. He could play that. You could play that song at any over 50 gig for the rest of your life and get a check.
Yeah, it's a staple. it's a it's a
So again, I didn't want to get too far off the point.
Right,
I was going. You were referencing the cultural accuracy of the show, and I was saying that there's another layer to it that has a lot to do with the show that's not even in the show. The song itself that he created literally speaks to that time and that culture in a way that if you're from that area, it's like hearing KRS-One singing South Bronx if you're from the Bronx.
Right. It was the whole make money, make, like all that. Right. So, yeah, I mean, if this show was, this is what, 91, I'm guessing, that's the setting that it was in. I just enjoy, seeing the sobs. The whole,
Sobs.
I'm into that.
The first time Range Rovers appeared.
Oh, his mom's the white one?
Yeah, that was early Range Rover days. Range Rover wasn't around before that.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Those were crazy. And it's a clean one too that they got that they found. I don't know whose it is, but I like that part. The leather jackets, the
Bombers,
the Dapper Dan-esque thing that Joey Badass.
Bomber jackets.
Joey Badass, a Brooklyn brother.
I'm loving him in that.
You love him in it? Oh, okay.
It's a pain in my ass, but
yeah, I think sometimes.
But that's fine. That's his role.
I like
The part that's sad to watch is that they're all not going to be here except Juke.
You said except for you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because we know that.
Because you know what happens.
'Cause we know that. Right. Yeah, it's crazy. Juke became a cop, right?
Juke moves to DC and becomes a cop,
Yeah,
right? Isn't that what happens?
Yeah, that was his cousin. Yeah, that's crazy. I want to know what happens. So it's gonna be interesting to know the gap, the in between, to find out what happened to his moms, what happened to his uncles.
What happens to Juke? Why Juke leaves?
Who died? Who went to jail? Why she left? So it's a lot of
They all
story
die and
to
go
be
to jail.
told. Huh?
They all die and go to jail except Juke.
Right. So I'm saying this is gonna fill in the blanks. Of,
What's the competitive drug dealer name? Unique.
Unique? Yeah.
I love his Negrossi level.
Negrosity?
Very strong. Very strong. We all have known a Unique.
A Unique? Yeah.
Everybody knows a Unique.
To this day.
That slow talking,
I feel he was trying a little.
Nah, but they all exist. They all exist. That slow talking, snarling drawl.
I think we could work it out.
Yeah, slow talking,
Tracy Morse. Oh,
so hood.
Yo.
I don't know, rock.
Yeah.
This thing smells
I'll give
all
you
like
something
rock.
in 1/4.
This is my block.
Yeah, listen, man.
Everybody knows a Unique.
Yeah.
When we saw him, he's like,
Let me tell you something now. Let me bring something full circle now. In comparison to, it's interesting watching something that takes place in the 80s, 90s, and watching Godfather Harlem at the same time, which was the 60s. I think I think they both give a good, as accurate as possible depiction of what was going on at those times. Even though Godfather Harlem is not exactly how the story went with the whole Malcolm X situation and all that, and their relationship, as according to my research. But it is an interesting thing to see the interactions with the Italians and the very few black drug dealers that can even be under the same roof as them. At the time it was.
there was cutting corners.
Huh? Who's cutting corners?
The black drug dealers back then.
Were they?
They couldn't learn the game.
I don't think it was cutting corners at that time. At that time.
I'm just playing with you right now.
No, I'm serious. At that time.
But I'm playing with you though.
Yeah.
Cutting corners is the theme for the evening.
Yeah. That's the name of the episode. Cutting corners. Cutting. No G. Cuttin. But I do think it's interesting. I want you to check it out. Man. Check it out.
I'm gonna have to cut a corner.
Check it out.
Go watch that though.
Check it out. It don't gotta be now. This is what, the third season?
I'll wait.
Second season.
I'll wait. Ready to laugh? I'll wait till TBS.
Picks it up?
Because that's what TBS does.
Picks shows up.
They wait. They wait until the shows.
years.
Yeah, then they pick them up.
But
you
it's
can
real
see Titans right now on TBS.
And the crazy thing
TNT.
about it,
It's
it's
HBO
funny
Max
watching Forrest Whitaker, because Bumpy Johnson was in the 60s at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the guy that was born 1900-ish, right? So it's just interesting.
He just called. He just called Forrest Whitaker 120 years old.
No, Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy Johnson. So it's just interesting. I don't know. I like stuff like that. It's two different parts of history that I'm watching. One not too far ago, and one
far ago,
and
as
one-
far as you're concerned.
yeah, way 40 years before me. So it's
The
just
original West
30
Side
years
Gun,
before me.
Frank Lewis. Frank Lucas.
Frank Lucas.
The original West Side
Yo,
Gun.
you see, Will Smith is about to play
Pack that shit. That's alpaca.
about to play Nicky Barnes.
Yes.
That's gonna be
He
interesting.
just who?
Will Smith.
We'll see if that comes to fruition.
Isn't it? Isn't
Yeah,
it,
I know. I know it's
something.
something. I know that's something that's supposed to be happening. We'll see if it comes to fruition.
We'll see. We'll see where they go with it. You know, if it's a show or a movie, it's definitely a movie, right?
I don't think Will Smith does TV shows.
Yeah, he does. It'll be cool though, but he's not gonna do it. But
Are you interested in The Matrix 4?
I gotta see the previews. See, The Matrix was two things for me, and it never was a look. Hindsight being 2020, but 20 years past it, they were never great movies. They were magnificent action scenes
and concepts.
with a storyline that if you paid attention to, that was very interesting. Now, if they pulled it off miraculously, that's a if and when, maybe, let's see. Okay? But the storyline of what Neo represents and the action scenes are priceless.
What year was Part 3?
Jesus Christ, I don't even want to know the answers to that. That's going to age me in such a way.
Like
All I
07-ish?
remember is that Matrix 2, you know how old Matrix is? Matrix 2 was the introduction of IMAX.
That was the first joint. It was the first
Matrix 2.
one. Okay.
That's when the word IMAX came out. For Matrix 2.
The IMAX Sony Theater and
And lost our motherfucking minds.
So, I think this is a 2-part thing. So I think
Let's see.
that's why I asked what
Let's see if he pulls this together. It's congruent because he tends to like sometimes.
go take it away.
And then do the whew, but make it seem like it's a.
Hey man,
Let's see. Okay, go.
you know, qualitative content is that's what you're here for. But look, Matrix 3 and Matrix 4. I say there's been a big gap in technology between then and now.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see how they tie it into the whole storyline. That's the only thing. Nothing crazy. It wasn't too
That's
deep.
true.
Nothing
Because
too
there's a lot of quote big technological advances from Matrix to Matrix 2
That they spoke
that
about.
they utilized that made
Right.
Matrix 2 pop.
Right.
Okay, so I'm very curious to see what that
So
could be.
it's been more than 10
I'm
years.
curious.
I know for sure.
I'm curious.
No Morpheus.
Problem. Trinity, of course. Jada's back.
Speaking of 4, we think about Phase 4 of this Marvel thing.
That's too soon to tell.
What's in the lineup? Another Ant-Man, right? Another Ant-Man.
It's a lot of everything.
2022.
It's a lot of everything.
Shang-Chi looks like it's going to be dope.
Master of Kung Fu. So here's the one thing I don't like about Marvel. I'm saying this out loud, and I can say this from truth factors because those who know me know I know about this shit. Okay, I'm not a fan of Marvel taking these low-end characters that made no money in the comic books and trying to make them look like they're big-end movie stars.
Like Galaxy.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy
Guardians
was
of
a
the Galaxy.
horrible comic book that nobody bought. No disrespect, and everybody's gonna get mad at me, but the only reason why you're mad is because you don't know any better. But those that know. Black Panther was not a major comic book character. He was not. He absolutely was not. He was not. Y'all got him looking like he's Wolverine. Okay? He absolutely was not Wolverine.
I like it, though.
In a comic book, he couldn't. Not that he couldn't. He just wasn't that popular of a character.
It's
he
a necessary.
He just was not.
I feel like it was a necessary.
Nah.
No. I'm not saying in terms
Marvel
of
did the money grab to fix a character. That's what they do.
No, I'm saying not in terms of their original
Captain
storyline.
Marvel movie. Get out of here.
And I'm talking about the whole Black
What do
Panther.
you do when Fox has the rights to the X-Men and Fantastic Four and fucked up the...
They basically changed the trajectory of the company by doing that because they basically dumbed down those characters until they could acquire them while they pushed up the other characters. And they saw the folly of their ways by doing that, right? Which is why they went into intense negotiations with Sony just to say, can we please be involved in the Spider-Man movies? So they could be done right. Okay, and Sony kind of got that as well too because they didn't get the bang for their buck they should have, or whatever the case may be.
So was that it for the Stan Lee cameos?
Yeah, there's no more Stan Lee, so unless we CGI him, if that's the word I can use, if I'm doing my movie
No,
stuff.
'cause I know he pre-recorded them before.
No, but he can't
He
can't
died before the last two.
Yeah, but what we gonna put him in the Eternals? They shot the Eternals after he died. So this you gonna CGI him in? How you gonna do it? What's he gonna do? Give Sanchai the 10 rings?
Didn't they do that
He didn't do anything last time.
with Fast and Furious? When
Paul Walker?
They his brother.
I just said if they're going to CGI him in, then yes.
Right. I mean, he doesn't do anything. He just be there.
No, but it is a qualitative aspect to this being
put him
done
in there?
right. Stan Lee created Marvel Comics.
Yeah, I know that. I'm talking. He just is like a.
Do you know who Magneto and Professor X is?
Yes.
Who are they?
Professor X is the guy from X-Men.
Do you know who Professor X and Magneto is in the scheme of history because of Marvel Comics?
Okay. No.
Professor X and Magneto and the X-Men were created by Stan Lee and his guys over at Marvel on the heels, pay attention, of Malcolm X getting shot. And mutants, watch this, are black people. Because we're different and we're being shunned because of our difference. And the mutant ability is akin to our skin color. And Professor X, pay attention, is Martin Luther King. And Magneto is Malcolm X.
That's fire.
That's literally what the X-Men are.
That's genius.
So now that I say that out loud, when we say Stan Lee has to be in the X-Men movies,
So wow.
that's deep, right? But that's exactly what the history is.
That's crazy.
He had that much foresight.
Damn. Never knew that. See, I'm not a comic guy.
Tally is most certainly a comic.
Yeah, I just got into this stuff with this whole.
So that's why.
Infinity War
So that's why.
stuff.
So like Sanchai, Master of Kung Fu. That's what he's called in the comic books. He was a horrible, unpopular character.
But if the movies are good,
Right, that's all that matters.
no.
If
No.
the movie's good,
No, wait, because
So, please.
you have to give
historical context to how they
not
created it.
historical context. In order for certain things to be good, like for instance, what was our shit? The Da Vinci Code,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, the Da Vinci Code was a smash book,
Right.
right? And people were reading the book literally when they heard the movie was coming out, just to make sure that they read it before they saw it. And then you see it,
And it's
then
completely
some
different.
of the things that happen in it, you're like,
That's not what happened.
it doesn't feed the fanatics well. You're in the room
Right.
with a Marvel
And
fanatic.
your fanatic is your base.
Right.
Exactly.
Your fanatic is your base. Like so I remember going to see X-Men.
Wait, hold on. It's the whole reason why Netflix
It's a movie.
is redoing an entire live action version of Avatar, which I'm excited for, so that it's more culturally and aesthetically aligned to the cartoon. Because the core fans
Oh yeah, if that
are
looking
ready to, like, they're ready to storm the Capitol
because they
for M. Night Shyamalan.
because there's been 2 false starts. There's been 2 false starts with
On what? Avatar?
with not
No.
you're thinking about the different Avatar. Okay, you're thinking about Avatar, the James Cameron movie. We're talking about Avatar. What's the main character's name?
Aang.
Aang, the elemental, the airbender, the airbender. They had an airbender movie. They had M. Night Shyamalan's movie, and they had an airbender series. All that for anime. Okay, all that pseudo fell short of what this represents, right? So when you're dealing with so just like anything of cultural essence, it has a base in fanaticism. If you don't feed the fanatics what it is, then it doesn't have then it doesn't last. Okay, so for example, even though 20th Century Fox owned the rights to X-Men, right? Watch how simple this is. and they made 8 movies, whatever the case may be, right? They had to only get one thing right. And I remember I said this I remember I said this the first time I walked in the movie theater. I said, if they get Wolverine right, we'll be seeing movies. They don't get Wolverine right, this shit is over before it gets started. Yeah. The second I saw Hugh Jackman pop them claws and go, I said, we're good. That was like Will Smith saving Martin Lawrence in Bad Boys.
So you have to get them.
But he said, this motherfucker's a goddamn star.
So you gotta get the main part.
No, you have to have the essence of what the character represents. So now tying it back to Lou's point about are the movies good, right? The comic book never portrayed the cultural I need to say this the right way. The cultural breakdown and necessity and dynamic of T'Challa in the movie. That's nowhere in the comic. That's never been broken down like that. Okay? Same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. They gave it a lot more substance. Okay? Groot is an afterthought in the comic books. A strict afterthought. Okay? To turn into a lovable character, baby Groot, that whole type of thing. Okay? And Shang-Chi's the same thing. So, but what Marvel also did that bought them time, I'll give you the fanaticism thought process and I'll jump off my soapbox, is that with the core characters, they didn't F that up. They did not F up Captain America. They did not mess up Iron Man. They did not mess up Thor. These are pillars. These are Mount Rushmore pillars of Marvel. They got those right. So it allowed us to say, all right, we'll watch Captain Marvel, which is a character that also doesn't represent much
Just
of anything.
for that puzzle piece.
Yes. Yes, because we know what it is. And also, the Marvel movies, more than the DC movies, they tie them all in together like the comic books do.
Directly.
Like each movie, like you cannot watch Iron Man 3
without
seeing Ant-Man.
Yeah.
You have to see them both.
Yeah.
And if you missed Avengers 1, then you're lost with both of them.
Yeah, you can't.
So they definitely do that. Now DC treats their movies more like an individual comic book, where it's the story from beginning to end, and then there's another story to tell.
Yeah, like
Those
when
stories
they
don't
did
tell
Batman vs Superman, and then they went to the computer and they found
Suicide Squad
this
is the first one and the second one. It's almost like 2 different Suicide Squad movies with 2 different groups. Not the story continued. Excuse me, not the story continued.
So we'll see. We'll see.
So, but Phase 4 has so much to do.
We'll
for example, you know what Phase 3 was until you heard about Thanos. Then you said, "Oh, now I'm paying attention." Outside of that, it was how Captain America became Captain America. Right. It was how Iron Man became Iron Man. It was Iron Man fighting another villain. Yeah, you didn't get what's the end game. Okay, until that one episode, I forgot what movie it was. I think it was Avengers 1, where at the end he was like, "Who is this big motherfucker on the throne?" and I remember saying that. I said, "That's Thanos." And then the homie was like, "Who's Thanos?" I was like, "This is about to get good."
They didn't
give his name. I said, "That is Thanos." I knew exactly who that was. And Thanos ain't even. And those who read the comic books, Thanos ain't that crazy pants in the comic books either.
Oh, he wasn't.
Like he ain't like, oh my. He ain't stopping the universe.
But they had to bring this type of crazy.
But they made him into Jesus Christ Thanos. They definitely did it.
Tore Hulk up.
Man, so
tore him right up. But speaking of
in the comic books, Hulk would kick Thanos' ass. But anyway,
speaking of different, right in the comic book, who did it? It was the opposite, right?
Hulk would kick Thanos' ass.
It was the opposite, right? I figured.
Thanos would punch Hulk up like, "What are you doing?"
Speaking of different versions of things, Phase 4 and all that. Nas dropped another version of his last year's rendition.
No, it's called what it is. He dropped version 2 of, I guess, the sequel continuation of his Grammy award-winning album, because he won the Grammy for Best Rap Album last year.
As he should have.
For King's Disease.
We had a whole conversation before, but
I said he was going to win.
Yeah.
I said, politics dictates.
I do think
Nasir Jones is going to win.
I do think the album's good. The album's solid, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're getting 40-something-year-old Nas.
Jesus.
40-something-year-old triple-digit million Nas. So it's a little different.
Is Nas hundreds of millions of dollars? I don't know.
Yeah, because, he made, allegedly, off the Coinbase thing, that was like $100 million when it went public. And then
you got to pay taxes on that?
Yeah, but I'm saying if we factor in if we factor in everything else,
let's look up Now see it, Joe's net worth.
See what it says.
Let's see what we got here.
It could be wrong.
I know he's made some very good
In
investments.
the last 5 years, things have been paying off for him.
Let's look up. You can keep talking. You gotta wait for me.
Oh yeah. I think the album's good. Quality wise, the quality's there. I think him and Hit Boy make a good product together. I think they work well together. I think Hit Boy is that match that he was looking for.
7-0.
Wasn't looking for. Well, 70. Well, a lot more than me.
That no, just still,
But not
magnificent
Yeah.
from a non-high school educated boy from
from
Queens.
Queensbridge. From Queensbridge, which
So,
is
yes.
like, you know,
So yes,
I do think
I'm a Nas fan. So
yeah, Nas my favorite rapper. So, but I'm giving a general opinion on the album. I do think that I can see how people say things like this is boring, but at this stage of my life, I enjoy this boring. I enjoy getting a break from the noise of how rap can get sometimes, and just chilling out, enjoying this, enjoying the bars that complement the production that Hit Boy brings to the table. I think they're a good tag team. They're a good duo. I enjoyed it. As far as replay value, like let's do it every day. I think the first week, I let it play. You know, if I'm driving to a destination, I just let it rock out. Let it rock out. It's cool. Yeah, I think it was pretty good. As far as like knock out the park, like Alfredo or something like that, no. But I do think it was good. I think the bars were up to speed of what I expect from a 40-something-year-old Nas.
the best part about the Nas album,
Content.
King's Disciple 2, is a Lauryn Hill verse.
Definitely the best part. The highlight, she still got it. And
I'm
Lord
sorry,
knows
did I,
it's-
did I mispronounce the name?
King's
The album?
Disease.
It's King's Disease 2, right? Which is basically gout, right? You know it has gout famously?
Who had got?
Yes.
Kings? Royalty? Nah. Oh, you mean
I'm
an
not sure.
actual
I'm not
person?
sure if he's still managing him, but I believe that Steve Stout is
Stout?
famous for having gout.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Known for having gout.
I didn't know that.
It's a Jay-Z lyric somewhere around here too.
Stout, gout. Was it Takeover?
There's a Jay-Z lyric talking about Steve Stout got gout. There is. Album, and I'm a Nas fan. Listen to it once, put it down. Listen to Lauryn Hill's verse twice, 3 times. Let people know if there's anything to go find out in life, because people like there is a Where's Waldo aspect to Lauryn Hill. So it's like, oh, she's here. By the way, guys, if you want to know where she's over here, and she's still being very much Lauryn Hill. Just letting you know. Now catch her now before she
She's
goes on the ground
Lauren-
again.
she's Laurening.
Before she goes on the ground again. Okay, but I'm just letting you know she's here.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that verse, she's magnificent, as if she never stopped rapping too. Which that probably is the strongest part of her
It's the
verse.
most impressive part.
She's rhyming as if she never stopped rhyming,
Yeah.
not as if I had to pick up a mic and kind of reintroduce myself to the world. So that part was strong. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
I don't have much
wax
to say.
poetic on the album as it passed the 5-year test for me.
I don't have much to say about an A Boogie and Nas feature. I'm not very.
So,
Yeah.
so what if I listen to King's Disease?
You don't have much to say about it, A Boogie.
I never have much to say about A Boogie. That's
Oh
another
wow,
story.
didn't see that coming. I listened to Nas's album. I listened to Tinashe's album. I listened to Fat Joe's new album.
Fire.
I listened to Benny the Butcher's new EP.
Not so
I
fire.
listened to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis's compilation album
listened to it.
that they put out, which is all new
What do you think
music.
about
I think that they have made a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
and they made the album for themselves. They didn't make the album with the intention of impressing the
masses.
public. I didn't think they made the record for the masses. Although, like, you hear like, so when you hear Mariah, when you hear Boys
See,
to
y'all got
Men.
the inside jokes from
No,
the-
I don't. No, it's a different thing. So when you hear Mariah Carey, when you hear Boys to
that?
Men, no, it's about something completely different. Get me off topic. Okay. When you hear Mariah Carey, when you hear Boys to Men, when you hear Babyface, when you hear Tony Braxton, you hear them in their truest element of the strength of what they represent. Like you hear Boys to Men harmonizing, like that's why people like Boys to Men.
Essence.
When you hear Tony Braxton ad lib, because Tony Braxton in my eyes one of the top 10 ad libbers in R&B history, you're like, my God, that's the Tony Braxton we all know. Okay, when you hear Mariah Carey sing, you're like, there's nothing wrong with Mariah Carey. Not the thoughts there's like that she's like the what's the guy's name? Hughes. Who's the guy? Who's the aviator?
Oh.
Not Howard Hughes.
How?
That she's like the Howard Hughes of female singers. Like she's a hermit and she's never around and that type of thing. But she sounds magnificent on this record. So, but the album itself, that the quality of the music is there, the hitness of the music, I would say, that may not be there.
Okay.
That's just for the older people. But if you've ever been a fan of anything that they've done, I'm pretty sure you won't be disappointed. I don't think they've made any new
Was
fans.
Case on it?
Case.
Was he one of the features on it?
That sounds like a no.
He wasn't on it?
That sounds like an absolute no.
No, I just asked, was he on it?
Why would you ask if Case is on that?
He's not. I just asked.
That sounds like an
I
absolute
don't know
no.
who's on it.
I just gave you 5 names.
Yeah,
Why do you
it
mention
was
Case?
And
Did they produce a Case?
ready? And on what planet do those names coincide with Case?
They don't. They don't. I just asked Case.
That's almost as bad as the EPM.
How?
The
Didn't they
EPM
produce
thing
Case
is very
records?
egregious.
Huh?
The
Yeah.
EPM thing is very
But
egregious.
that wasn't that bad. Didn't they produce Case records?
No.
Okay.
If they did, I have no idea.
Oh snap! Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Oh, you want a mulligan?
Huh?
You want
No.
to act like you didn't say it?
Nah. Yeah, we got act like I didn't say it because that was a mistake. I just realized what I did.
Okay. You think about somebody else?
Yes.
Jesus?
Tim and Bob.
Tim and Bob?
Yeah.
For a different producer team?
I know. That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I
Oh,
said.
wow. You confused Jam and Lewis with Tim and Bob?
Jesus.
Oh damn! Come on. I'm not saying
Like,
it's just.
shout out to Tim and Bob. They're fucking dope.
They're good.
Like,
No.
they on that song, you know.
Look. All right.
You spent a lot of money with Tim and Bob.
life.
I just.
But Jesus
No,
Christ.
it's the end. Don't worry about it. It never happened. It didn't happen.
So Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and Tim and Bob.
Tea.
That's what you
don't worry,
had.
Don't worry.
Tea,
Don't worry about it.
Peanut
Don't
butter
worry.
and jelly.
It,
It's all the same.
it never happened.
Same.
I
Tea and
never-
crumpets. Tea and crumpets all the same.
Black Street Boys to Men. It didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Okay.
We good.
Black Street.
It didn't happen. It didn't
That's
happen.
so not being edited out.
It didn't happen.
All right, man. Well, I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. It feels good to be back.
Yeah, I don't know if you fully.
Came to pod today. What? Came back from
I don't know if he's back. I don't know if you're Mace back.
not Mace back.
Yeah, you might be more like Michael McDonald returned to the Doobie Brothers back.
Dang.
I just gave 2 cultural references that are damn near 30 years apart.
I was trying to remember the guy that that produced with Jam and Lewis.
That's the guy that did Disrespectful for Shaka Khan.
The other guy, the Spanish guy,
Bobby Avila.
Bobby Ross.
Bobby Voss Avila.
Ooh boy, where's he at? Because he's co-producing on a lot of those records, like those Usher records, the Disrespectful record. I'm glad you said Disrespectful.
That's one of the best Shaka Khan records of all time, and nobody knows about it.
Because I feel the same way, and no one has ever mentioned it.
Disrespectful for Shaka Khan is like Take This Ring for Tony Braxton. Okay, two magnificent, well beyond produced records that in any other generation are smashes that are not getting their due. But I do know this, that when I see Shaka on the road and when I see Tony on the road, they know how big those records are because those tracks are underneath them because they know the impact of those beats and how it hits on a big speaker to affect the fan base.
One day, you and me, and we're gonna see if Quan can do it. I wanna do a list, and not the usual list that other people talk about. Top 10 or 20 bridges of all time. Because Disrespectful
Disrespectful.
And the 112 record,
Which one?
the Quiet Storm record,
Yeah, over now.
Over Now,
Okay.
top 10 bridge, like the Neo bridge to
So sick.
So Sick. You know what I'm saying? Just like that's So Sick, right?
Yeah. Leave
Right.
me alone. Yeah.
That's the bridge, right?
He got a few. He got
I
like
want you
two.
to think.
That's hard.
Yeah, he's dope on bridges. I want you to think about this. Now.
It's pretty good.
Top 20 bridges.
Damn. Wait, Tony. I feel like Tony has one in there.
Oh yeah.
Tony has one in there.
No, but see,
Is it how many ways?
Nah, but you got to hold on. Now you're having a different conversation, though, okay? Because you can't get into it's not the magnitude of the song. It's not the magnitude of the artist. It's the musicality of having the capability of the song taking.
Like that?
That's not even see. That's not it. That's not a bridge. The bridge takes an absolute left turn, and you go, "How did we land here?"
And I like it.
And this is amazing. Okay, so here's a top 10 bridge right now say of the past 5 years. The bridge on "Leave the Door Open."
I was gonna
Yeah,
say it.
for sure.
That's a top 10 bridge for this
It's
generation.
one of the only bridges out there.
Because you like, what? Who? God. So the reason why it won't be a top 10 bridge of all time is because the way it transitions out back to the verse, it kind of lands organically in a core what you were taught musically to do way, right? Rather than make another right turn.
I feel like
and you
Justin
kind of back
has
there.
one, too.
Okay. Well, if they have enough catalog,
I feel like
watch this. If they have enough catalog, everybody has one. It's
No, I'm
just a
talking
matter.
about one of those.
It's just a matter of like,
those.
whew. Right? And then
Isn't that a great thing to think of?
yeah. So from a standpoint of where qualitative content counts, that's a qualitative list. That's not who are my top 10 rappers of all time. Who are my top 10? That type of thing. That gets to be very
Specific.
interesting.
Right.
Specific.
You give me a list, and I'll give you the chord breakdown in theory.
So if we did the list,
Can we do it in there?
Can
we do it in-
example, yeah, we can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
So for example, the Leave the Door Open shit, right? I think they're in like A flat major or something like that. I have to go back and check.
Lost me crazy.
Right? But what they're doing, which is like musically genius, when you get to the
yeah, the lot of
when
us.
you get to that, that is a different key
Then when they started in the bridge,
than what they start. No, that's because they're going from the hook into that, right? So when they go from the hook into that, they're changing the key. But when they land,
they land on another key
they're landing the chorus back
at a
in
different key.
That's not
In a
the
different
original
key. Yeah, they land the chorus in a different key than
Like,
the
it's-
original key.
Oh man, just
It's
so
it's musically, and the word's not genius.
it's impressive.
It's so musically appetizing.
Yes.
It's that when you get involved with terms like music theory, this is what you want to study.
So I have a question.
This is what they want you to study. This is what they want you to come away from and understand so you can take that into the world of music.
All right, real
if you're
quick.
going to learn that, learn that.
I got a question. What's the difference? This is a music question.
Uh-oh.
Not a big music guy. In terms of like when I was in school with
We're going to
notes-
preface that by saying, talk to me like I'm 4 years old, because the question could be amazingly
Yeah,
crazy
talking
right
like
now.
I'm 4 years old, but not retarded.
It's going to be a
That's
little retarded.
Huh?
Keep,
We
keep
can't
the question
say that.
out.
It's not. All right, talk to me like I'm 4 years, but not. All right, cool.
Not that I'm special needs.
Right. Special. Edit that. Please don't cancel me. What's the difference between a bridge, all right, and you see what Barry White does in Ecstasy, where it's a constant up and down? What do you call that? Like, and then it go, because that's not a bridge, because it keeps happening. What do you call that? Because I don't want to, because when I start the list, I don't want to mix the two. You see what I'm saying?
So, in general, right, the popular song format, which is, I would say maybe 80%.
I want to add one thing. For the room, the transition that he's speaking to is literally what James Brown does in all of his songs.
Right.
But he says the phrase, "Can we take it to the bridge?"
Right.
So that's what Lou's about to explain.
Okay.
So there's two parts of it, right? There's lyrically, and then there's musically.
Okay.
Right. So lyrically think of a song, right? And you have, and I'm trying to give you an example, but it's hard, right? So let's just say I'm saying in the verse, which is probably 8 bars, right? I'm saying X, right? I'm saying I love you, I love you, I love you, right? And then the chorus, right? I'm saying Y. This is why I love you so much.
Okay, I got the example for you.
Perfect.
So if you listen to a song like Ain't Nobody by Faith, ain't nobody who can love me like you do.
Right.
The B section is, when you hold me in your arms, I get this feeling.
Right, confident,
Fill me
right.
with your love. Ain't nobody love you like you, boy.
So that's the
That's
B?
lyrically doing a
Kinda what
B
I'm talking about
section
with
or a
Ecstasy.
bridge.
on Barry White.
So you
Okay.
have a verse,
Right.
B section, and then the chorus.
Okay.
Right? And musically, those things are generally the same. Right?
That's
Whatever the chord progression
It
is,
stays the same.
it stays the
That's why I
same.
said the words are different,
Right.
but the words have a different melody, but it keeps the same bass because the music doesn't change
Music
on
doesn't
Ain't
change.
Nobody.
Right. when you get to the bridge is kind of like saying, and here's another thing, right? Lyrically, musically, what you're seeing a change from the root key, right? So whatever the music is in the beginning of the song, the thing that's not changing, right?
Boom, 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 boom,
When
boom.
you get to the bridge, the key is changing, or the chords are changing in a different way than the rest of the song. It's taking it a place up. Generally, in musical terms,
I'll stay in the theme so that we can stay, as I said, as I use Faith for Ain't Nobody for the verse.
Right.
Mary J. Blige, Be Happy. The bridge does it musically.
right,
I just want to be so, so happy. That's a change from all I really want is to be happy. And it goes there and it comes back.
right. Generally, what happens is that you get to, if let's say if just a short musical thing, right? The key of any song, right, is think of it as numbers 1 through 8, right? The chords that you can play. There are a lot more changes, modifications, whatever. But just think of it 1 through 8, right? The song, a typical song is usually 1, 4, 5 in terms of key
structure.
in terms of chord structure, right? Generally, what happens is that when you get to the bridge, instead of starting on like 1, it'll start on 5, and it feels like a climax, right? And then it lives in the key that's 5. So instead of the root of the song being in 1, now the root of the song 5 now becomes 1 for a certain amount of bars.
And it stays there.
And stays there for a certain amount of bars, and then transitions back to the root key.
And ends.
Or in the case of the Bruno Mars record,
It goes from 154.
they're going from 1, and then they're going not to 5, they're going to like the 5 of the 5, which is the way that you kind of transition back, because transitioning back to 1 typically happens from 5 or from like 7. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. So they're basically taking you like Inception. They're taking you layers in and then breaking it back down to get back to
Is it traditional?
reality. Dope shit.
Traditionally, it's only once, right?
No, that's
It can happen
so. Let me help. I want to say one small statement. Okay, that would be giving rules to
There's
music,
no rules to it. Okay.
and there's no rules to music. Hence, why music is so beautiful.
Because you know what's in my head?
Because you could be listening to so let's talk about a genius now that does this in his sleep that everybody has copied off of. Because that 154 for a 4-minute song, get and listen to a Stevie Wonder song that's 7 minutes long.
Right.
Right.
And you'd be like, Jesus Christ.
Right.
if he did not modulate 5 times, change the chord, and change the key, and put a bridge in, and then let his voice be all that.
Right.
Okay, so and then have the capability to do it on all different levels. Like if you want Stevie to just do a groove, like Stevie is so musical, you say, well, I don't think Stevie can just do a groove like all night long. This Stevie does do I do.
Right.
10 minutes of straight groove. Straight groove, right? Then you sit back and say, but he doesn't modulate well. You be like, did you listen to anything on Songs in the Key of Life? Anything on Songs in the Key of Life? Because it's a modulation smorgasbord
Right.
on that album.
Here's a good example for you. Remember Boyz II Men, End of the Road?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That part of this.
Right? And then it gets towards the end of the song, and then you get dun, 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 the end.
It goes up.
Yeah.
The bridge didn't land back at 1. The bridge landed a step
Higher than
right.
it originally was.
Than where it originally was.
Right.
Same thing with Beyonce was doing that in that
Love on Top.
Love on Top. She kept
Baby,
going
it's
up.
you.
And that's her homage. I don't care what she says.
Killed that.
No, she ain't kill it. That's
It was
her
good.
homage to Stevie. Because that's what Stevie Wonder does in his sleep.
No, I get it.
No.
But she killed it though.
No, she didn't kill it. She learned it from the legend.
I mean, when you learn something,
No.
you execute it well.
No. That's like you talking about. I'm gonna give you a baby example. No, seriously.
give it to him.
No. You gotta give respect or respect due. Otherwise, you're diminishing. Otherwise, you're diminishing the craft.
But two
Okay,
things
you're
can be
not letting me
true.
finish.
All right, good.
Okay, it's like talking about dunking and saying that Vince Carter is a better dunker than Michael Jordan. Hell no, never will be. He's paying homage to Michael Jordan, and that's it. No more, no less.
I think what Quan is saying is that
She still executed it well.
No, yeah. Before no, listen. No, you said it right. He's a dope dunker, not Michael. I'm looking right in the camera. I'm never gonna let anybody speak in a breath near Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
And put them in a position where they're equal or right underneath them. Because that does not exist
All right,
on planet Earth.
I got
Period.
you. But look.
There's no but.
No, it is a but.
There is no but.
No.
There is no but. There is no but. Stevie Wonder has
Yes.
songs in the key. Let me give you perspective on Stevie Wonder and Beyonce.
Because look, hold on. Before you
I'm
overtalk
gonna kill you
me,
with one statement.
Before you overtalk me, I never said anything about Stevie.
You said this statement.
I said she killed it.
You said this statement, sir. You said this statement. I'm the millennial guy. You said I'm the millennial guy that knows what he's talking about sometimes.
Yes.
And he's here to put you, not necessarily in place, but to rectify maybe small misjustices.
I don't like the whole comparison all the time.
It's not gonna-
Stevie is Stevie. I'm not saying Beyonce Stevie. All I said was on Love on Top that she killed that.
And I'm
That's
saying,
all I'm saying.
and I'm saying,
I didn't say anything about Stevie.
and what I'm saying is that here's my context.
Yes.
Okay. Because you weren't alive when this happened. Okay.
Oh, my
You were
God.
not.
See,
no. Listen.
God,
You have to hear
kills
it.
me.
You have to hear it.
I hear it when I play Stevie Wonder.
Listen. The reason why she the reason why she's even in a position for you to use the word kill is because she had to study or have somebody come to her and say, you know, what'd be hot right here to do a Stevie Wonder breakdown.
We'll be here all the time. And then there's no 50 with an IQ. There's yes, we can, because this was different. Listen, how many records has Beyonce sold, you think? Huh?
How many records do you think Beyonce sold in her career? Make a number up.
I would say 20 million.
Songs in
I'ma
the
give that.
Okay? I'll add 80 million on top of that. I'll say Beyonce sold 100 million records. Mm-hmm. You ready?
Yeah.
You reason why when you hear why I'm raising my voice so loud?
Yeah.
Songs in the Key of Life alone, with no video, no a blind guy playing a piano,
I got you.
no band
got you.
has sold 100 million records by itself.
Absolutely.
That is the reason why there's no conversation here, and that's one album.
Nah.
That's
I
one
get
album.
you. But
That's one album.
but
The
what are
album
you
is
arguing?
Diamond.
All right, what are you arguing?
I'm not arguing. I'm getting you to. What I want
I
you
don't
to
have
do.
to mention him every time
No,
I mention Beyonce.
I didn't say to mention him like mention Beyonce.
Right, I don't have to.
If you're going to ask me the question, let me
Yeah,
answer it.
good.
You say, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Okay? I want you to respectfully, anytime that a statement is mentioned with a legend, don't try to convince the world that that person may be at that person's level on any level when that person has done so much more for what the industry represents and so much more for the culture that that person not only has influenced this person, but damn near may have coached this person. She is never going to be or represent what Stevie Wonder represented. So I'm being clear in saying, yes, Beyonce, because my favorite song on the 4 album is Love on Top. I'd rather you have put New Edition in the video besides those other guys, because the dance routine would have looked a lot better. So that's how much I like that record. But we're never gonna let a great rapper come in the room and you say, he killed that part, and it's an homage to Jay. No, he's gonna pipe it down. Okay, he's gonna stay in his lane and be a son of Jay. Not in that moment, he was Jay. Nope, never.
But
nope,
I didn't
never.
say that.
That's how you came across.
No.
And I'm not saying that was your intention. I'm answering your question. That's how you came across. And I am now giving you context of why that should not be the case.
Right, let me
That's
rewind.
it.
Tally, like, you had too much bass in your voice.
You can't do that.
Nah.
Can't do that.
Hold on, but I can still just give props to the song. That's all I did.
I know.
He mentioned it. No. Huh?
He don't disagree with you?
I don't disagree.
And he doesn't disagree with me.
No.
I don't.
You're right. I don't disagree
understand
with you.
Tom's point,
But I
don't think that's what
I just don't get the argument. All
Okay.
I'm saying is it's simple. He said he's explaining to me something, right? Like Beyonce, Lou said, like Beyonce on Love on Top. And we was talking
I said
about
Love
the
on
note.
Top, actually.
And I said, all right, and we were talking about it.
Tally got Gen X sensitive on you.
Absolutely.
Right. That's it.
And
That's
hold
all
on.
that happened.
Watch it. I'm going to add to that. Tally got justifiably Gen X upset
but
about it.
I
And there's no
didn't-
but there. There's no but
There's
there.
a but.
No.
I didn't denounce him at all.
I
Not
didn't
one
say
time.
I didn't say you denounced. We're having the same conversation on the same
No,
level.
we're not.
Yes, we
Guarantee you not. Because I didn't, you make it come across, or you created a narrative in your head just now. I didn't.
I'm not creating a narrative. All I'm doing is simply this.
What?
Okay, and I'm saying it
You
calmly
have to
now.
mention-
No, not that I have to mention. See, this is the part you're getting. You're getting me involved in the history.
Okay.
Okay, I'm stating simply that history dictates that based upon what you're stating, you are 1,000% correct. But if I come back to you and I say the statement, yes, you are 1,000% correct. But it's an homage to the legend that created this, which is Stevie Wonder. That doesn't dictate at that point, historically, not me against you, historically, that yes, there's a bow down aspect to that because of what that artist represents compared to other artists that we're talking about represents.
All right,
that is my statement.
All right.
That's it.
Gotcha.
No more, no less.
Before I sound like somebody in the beehive, I'm just gonna end. I got you. It's an homage to Stevie Wonder.
If I see a great
So
dancer,
she did a good job executing that. Lou, she did a good. Beyonce Knowles did a good job in executing that homage of octaves or octave levels that Stevie Wonder does the best and invented and did the best. She did it pretty good on the song "Love Is on Top."
Somebody probably
Love on Top.
Young knees, you're not gonna stay on your square, man.
no,
I'm in my square.
Pause.
I'm in my
Hold on,
square.
pause. Let me
I'm
educate you.
just not-
Hold on. Let me educate you.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't bite the cheese because this one instigates. His statement was simple. You don't sit on that. You gonna live with that. That's instigation. I'm just
It
saying.
is
No,
what it is.
hold on. Respond how you wish. That's
never
fine.
been
No.
instigated.
Listen to me. Respond how you wish because it's your right, but don't bite the cheese. Recognize what just happened. That's all I'm saying. Just recognize what just happened.
I do a great job. I do a great job.
Recognize what
in
just
not
happened.
biting
That's why. Watch. That's why he's laughing at us as we're having the conversation. He knows he's doing his instigation part to keep the conversation going.
Listen,
So I'm just
man.
saying, recognize what it is because you may not have seen that before. I've seen it plenty of times.
Hey, man, I've seen worse. If I would have bit the cheese, I wouldn't be here today as a man.
And somebody may have done it before Stevie too. I'm just recognizing that Stevie's the one that may have put it in a category
Hey,
of his
man.
own. Of his own.
Hey, man, I got nothing to say about Stevie.
Yeah, Luther's done it, but he's also a student of Stevie. in fact, the album that made Luther is a lot of Stevie covers.
Yeah.
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 So,
But
Yes, absolutely. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just what you were alluding to. Absolutely. I think that's a fantastic place to.
hey, man.
This is issue rule number 4080, where you evidently
Hey.
context and quality count. I'm Tally. He's upset.
And he has nothing to say about Stevie, man. Jesus.
And what are we gonna do next time? What are we gonna talk about next time? Give the crowd a preview of what we'll talk about next time. What you gonna yell at me about?
Man, we got to bring it up to something that you don't know about, I guess. Jesus.
I know. Well, I do know.
down your square, young lady.
Don't let him catch you.
Huh? Nah,
Don't let
I
him catch
mean,
you.
my square was a
So let's
square.
do this. We're at the halfway point.
It's too late to talk about Washington.
No. We're in September. Let's talk about what albums next time that we anticipate coming out this year. That
For the rest of the year?
For the rest of the year that we're
Fourth
looking
quarter?
forward to.
Fourth quarter?
Yeah, next podcast. Let's talk about what we're anticipating in the fourth quarter. I won't call it fourth quarter because there's no more quarters.
Yeah, they don't do that.
Okay, in the music industry, that term
Stop
that,
when albums came out on Tuesdays.
that term stopped when 6 labels turned to 4, turned to 2.
All right, so
Or 6 distribution companies.
it's only I would say it's about 6 albums I'm looking forward to. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see what my boy Push got to say.
Would you stop talking about it? You're
stop.
already leaking. Stop leaking.
Stop. I mean, everybody know.
No, not if you don't leak.
I mean, he said it.
Don't leak.
Hey, man, I don't got the album.
You might not be anticipating it.
Who?
You may not be anticipating it.
Oh, I am.
There you go.
I got nothing to say about it. We'll talk about it next time.
All right,
Stevie Wonder dropping out.
Stevie Wonder might be dropping an album. Yes.
Look like he just came back from the watershed.
Oh boy.
Hey.
Come on, hold your chin up, young
Don't bite it.
Hey,
Don't
man.
bite it. Oh, he's
Chin up, staring your square, young lady.
don't bite. You see, as I'm saying, don't bite it. He keeps pushing
Right.
to let you know that instigation is exactly what he's trying to do here.
I see what Lou doing.
There you
man.
go.
But
If I was in Kingston, I'll go.
we ain't gonna have 2 episodes in a row like that.
We might. All right, we're going. We'll talk to you guys later. Take care.
Shit.